Hello, this is Adam Jr. with Systematic Front, and this is going to be a breakdown on how to use Spot in Madden Mobile. Spot works great in either head-to-head or LVL, but I will say that it tends to work a little bit better against 4-3s than 3-4s. That being said, if there's a breakdown you would like to see other than this one, go ahead and let me know, and I'll try to get it done. Spot is another play where you want to watch left outside linebacker. If you see him start to backpedal into a medium zone coverage, then you're going to want to throw it to the tight ends and just the bubble between the left outside linebacker and then the strong safety who's usually playing a deep zone. Another thing to note is that with this coverage, sometimes the tight end will get kind of stuck on the left outside linebacker, which will hold up the read and let the pass rush get to you. So if that happens, you do also have bailout reads to wide receiver 1 and then also the halfback. So you don't have to go the deep route to the tight end, but if you can, it is the best to give the most that the defense gives you. If the left outside linebacker plays a deep zone, then you're going to want to choose between the wide receiver 1 and the halfback. If you throw it to wide receiver 1, then it helps if you cut it immediately right to the sideline, and that will allow the halfback to pick up a block for you, and usually you'll be able to get some extra yardage that way. You won't have quite the same opportunity for yards after the catch with the halfback, but since the catch is being made further up the field, that sort of evens out. If the left outside linebacker is in a man coverage, then your best route is going to be throwing it to wide receiver 1 for just 5 or 6 yards. A final common coverage you'll see is if the defensive end actually drops off into a medium zone coverage, then you're definitely going to want to throw it to the tight end, and he'll be open, and usually that read will go for a big gain, if not a touchdown. Against the 3-4, you're also hoping to catch the tight end against a medium zone coverage, but it is less common. But same as before, if he's against the medium zone coverage, just lob it up and he'll do his thing. If the left outside linebacker plays a deep zone coverage, then you'll still have your same options of either throwing it to the halfback or throwing it to wide receiver 1. If you throw it to wide receiver 1, you still want to attempt to cut it right to the sideline to pick up a block, but doing that doesn't always work. If you see man coverage or if you see a blitz, then you want to go ahead and dump it off to that same wide receiver 1 throw. You do tend to see more man coverage and blitzes against the 3-4, so because of the limited upside of that throw, it's really not my favorite play to run against the 3-4 defense. When you face dime formation, really your only read is going to be the slot receiver, but since dime is usually 3rd and 4th and long, it's pretty good that you'll be able to pick up the yardage you need with that throw. Finally, there's nickel formation. Nickel formation is going to be the most complicated because in addition to playing against uncountered nickel, nickel is also the counter formation for Spot, so you have to be able to identify that counter and then react accordingly. So I'm going to show you how I do that. So as soon as the play starts, I'm actually going to pull my joystick up and I'm going to run up and then use the slide button before a defender hits me so I don't fumble. The reason I'm going to do that is because uncountered nickel is still pretty well guarded, but if it's countered, then it's not going to let me pull up on the joystick when I try, and so I'll know immediately that I'm dealing with countered nickel, and I can just throw a bullet pass to the halfback instead. It is possible to get a pass off against a critical counter, but because of the fumble risks involved, it might be better to take the sack. And it's also easy to accidentally throw to the wide receiver 1. So that's my breakdown on how to use Spot in Madden Mobile. Hope it helps.
Fournette into the secondary, runs over a man, and is able to slip away from everybody. And look at this run. Leonard Fournette, touchdown. In the end zone, yeah, the officials confer. He gets across the goal line. Wow.
That's worthy of beast mode there. The only guy we've seen do that is Marshawn Lynch.